If you're using Google Sheets a lot, then you're probably familiar with the basics of file sharing, but I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff that you're probably not familiar with, like how to share a copy so that when people click on a link, they only get the invitation to create a copy, how to add something to Drive, or how to publish to web, etc. My name is David Benaim, and I do all sorts of videos on consumer technology, everything from Google Sheets to PowerPoint to Zoom and Teams and Excel. And if you like this video, then consider subscribing. My subscriber number is just shooting up at the moment, so you would really appreciate the stuff that I'm doing. I hope to release videos twice a week, roughly. If you want to share, you have this button up here. You have here people who are currently editing the file, and you have a different kind of symbol here. This means that it's shared privately versus this one, this kind of link means that it's shared with anyone with a link. This is something to avoid if you are going to want confidentiality in your data, which is obviously very important. So click on that, and then you can just add someone's name, press done here. You can just sort of change these settings, whether the other editors can change permissions and share themselves, and what to do with viewers and commenters. You can change this person to be an editor, a viewer, or commenter, or you can change this to say anyone with a link. Again, that's a risky strategy. So a trick that I tend to do is I just sort of take the URL and copy it. Then I open up a private browser. So in Edge, it's called in private browsing. In Chrome, it's called incognito mode. So when I paste in the link, if it asks me to sign in, then that means it is a privately shared file. Whereas if I do it for this one, and I paste it here, it loads it up. So this is now shared to everyone. And I do this for checking all sorts of things, whether I've shared them, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's SharePoint files, whatever it is, just to see whether an average person has access to it, like this. Another way that you can share is you can right-click on a cell and choose Get Link to this cell. You can paste a link there if you want to send it by an email, or sometimes I have this when I'm, for example, giving a presentation and I want to have the exact cell where I talk about, that I can click the link and it opens up that specific thing. So I really like that feature. It's not actually available in Excel, a lot like the other things that I'm showing in this video. So another feature that I'll show you here, this is in another file, is the way that you can publish to the web. So if you go to File and Publish to the web, it even works with privately shared files. Then you can choose to create a link that absolutely anyone can access. Don't do this with confidential data. So you can choose here to do a link or embed, entire document, or go sheet by sheet. These are the names of the sheet. And then what do you want to embed it? So I'm going to go with a web page, and I'll show you a couple more options. I'll click Publish. It says, are you sure? Press OK. And then here you have a link, and you can copy that. Like I said, go to a in private browsing session, paste it just to see if it's loading there properly. So if it is, then that means that this is now a public link that anyone can access. You can, sort of change and choose a sheet that you want, and you can go to published content and settings, and you can change to have not that. You can even select multiple ones, but not the entire document if you want to. And you can choose automatically republish when changes are made, or untick that. Obviously, you'd probably want this ticked if you want it to happen. I've seen this with a few use cases. For example, if you have some events that are being stored in a Google Sheets and you want always the more up-to-date events to be shown on the place, then the Publish to Web feature works well for that. Particularly if you use embed. If you embed it, then you can paste this code into a web editor or anything from a WordPress to a Weebly or Wix page that you use, or even Microsoft's Way or other places where you can do embed code, or blogs, things like that are used with embed code. There is even a way to specify a cell range within this code if you want to edit it further. I'm not going to go into too much detail into this as part of the video. Another feature that just got introduced today for me actually is the one that you get this icon. So this is a document status. If this is showing the tick, it means all changes are saved into Google Drive. So just remind you that that's happening. Versus the other option that I'll show you in a sec after I disconnect my internet. So now that I've disconnected my internet, I see that it's showing this. It's saying saving and trying to connect. So yeah, that's the other alternative. Pretty cool feature, just makes sure that you are saving everything live in Drive. Now, depending where the file is stored, it might already be shared with certain people. If I go to File and then Move, I can move this file to one of these folders. This icon means that there are already people who are sharing that folder. If there's no people, then it's only me. And if I move this file into this folder, then everyone who has access to the folder has access to the file. You have also a concept called shared drives if you are using G Suite for business accounts. And shared drives are automatically accessible by anyone who's in a specific sub-denominated team or potentially in the entire organization. I won't go into too much detail about these shared drives because they are a little bit more complex. So over here I have a folder that someone else has shared with me. So what I really love about Google Drive, and Dropbox can do this as well, but OneDrive cannot, is you can click on a folder and choose this button that says Add Shortcut to Drive, also in the right-click options. I can add that to my drive, and then we'll load up with this general thing. And if I do Add Shortcut here, then this will load automatically in my drive. And essentially that means if I am syncing Google Drive using this, it will sync to my local machine, so I'd be able to access it through this medium directly without needing to leave my File Explorer. If you like this video, then please consider subscribing. You'll get tons of new great content on Excel, PowerPoint, Google Sheets, Power BI, Zoom, Teams, all of your consumer technology that you use at the workplace. Thanks for watching.